Hi, welcome to Range and Country. I'm Peter.
And I'm Lawrence.
And we're here today to bring you honest reviews of air guns and shooting equipment. So today we're bringing you a review of the brand new Kral Nish package in this instance. Now, when we say package, Lawrence, we've got the rifle.
Yep.
Got the scope.
Comes with a scope, obviously. Silencer on the end. We get 2 magazines. We get a hand pump, and we get a case to pop it in.
Here is said case. Quite a nice padded case.
Blue Peter style. Here's one that we
made earlier. Can you remember Blue Peter?
No.
Got you.
I'll just get the joke.
Ah, right. Got you.
And a pump. Again, obviously, pump looks like a pump.
Yep.
It's a good little kit, isn't it? It's very similar to the Gamo Fox in terms of what you get as standard.
It is, yeah.
Obviously, we'll go into what it comes with and how it feels and that sort of thing in a little while. But that's what we've sort of got in the back of our minds. That's what we're comparing it to.
Yeah. Direct comparison. So let's see what handling and features.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So let's get straight into features, shall we? Wooden stock.
Yep. Well, they come in 2 stock options. This one's obviously the walnut, and they also come in a synthetic stock as well.
Now, walnut. When you say walnut, walnut's interesting, isn't it? Because it's only really on the Turkish guns that you get walnut on a gun of this sort of price.
Yeah.
Quite often it's beech. It's a cheaper piece of beech. But they do actually give you walnut on this. I think it's stained and it's obviously finished differently to different manufacturers. But at the end of the day, it is a nice piece of walnut. Walnut's lighter as well than beech, less dense.
Yeah. So with it being walnut, you'd be able to oil it and you'd be able to touch it up, and it would bring it up quite nicely. Although obviously, unlike beech.
Yeah. I don't know how you treat it because it is stained. So. I mean, it does feel like it would take an oil or something, but typical wood care, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just us being, giving our thoughts.
Yeah. You've got obviously we've got the scope rail up top here. Now this is Kral's sort of patented sort of clever little rail. It's their dual rail, so it's 9 to 11 mil, and also it will take Picatinny mounts as well. You've got 2 bases. Obviously we're on 9 to 11 mil here, but also underneath there is those horizontal grooves, so you can put Picatinny mounts on there. You could have night vision scope, something like that. That will go straight on there.
It's quite a nice touch actually, because in the shop mounts, is it? I know the Viroc, the HW100 is dovetail, isn't it?
Yeah.
The HW110 is Picatinny.
Yeah.
So, when we're selling one, we often have to,
think which mounts go with this.
Yeah. Which gun, which mounts.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Sorts the problem. Yeah. Now we've got a little power adjuster here as well, haven't we?
Yeah. So we'll turn that on the side. So there's a little power adjuster sort of dial here. You adjust it. Nice dial on this side. It's knurled, so you can turn it quite easily. Yeah. It's power it's doing. You clocked it while I was setting it up.
It was quite up there. It's 11.6, 11.8.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to turn that down to, it's roughly about half generally, so sort of a 6-8 foot bounce, that sort of thing.
Now with this power adjuster, this one will just close up the transfer port, so it doesn't act on the hammer spring as some would. It just shuts off the transfer to do the power reduction. Yeah. So 2 magazines.
Yep.
How many shots are each magazine?
You get so obviously 2 magazines. The 177 is 14 round, which is obviously what we've got here today, and the 22 is 12 round. So that's nice and
it is
nice and handy. Obviously, the Fox ones are both 10 round.
Now, these are the magazines made by Confucius, aren't they? These are the ones where you have to preload it by winding the cover in the right direction and inserting your first pellet backwards into the magazine. The amount of phone calls we get, I've just received my new air rifle and the magazine's not working. I go, okay, what gun is it? And they tell you, go, right.
This is how you do it.
You get it in your hand and I'll just go through it with you and explain it to you. Weekly we get that.
Yeah.
They are, once you've mastered them, they're fine, but I think they're made by Confucius.
We have got a cylinder up front here, obviously. I don't know the capacity of the cylinder, but I do know that you get about 100 shots out of it.
I think I saw 280 cc.
280, yeah. It's quite a big cylinder, but it gives you quite a good shot count for a rifle at this sort of price.
It's not bad at all, is
and
it?
It's not particularly heavy. They will get into weight and
pressure
and
gauge
and stuff. Pressure gauge is underneath. A lot of people in the comments will be happy about that. I know we get
looking down there.
Yeah, a lot of people questioning and moaning about it being on the end on other guns, but yes, nice, easy to read gauge here. Red is too much.
Even with my old eyes, I can read that.
Red is too much. Yellow is too little. Green is exactly where you want it to be.
Simple. Little sling stud hole as well. There, quite handy.
Yep. So
Ready drilled.
Screw in one of the little studs. I think they're 10 quid odd. Screw them in. You'll be able to get a bipod straight on. That's nice and handy while also keeping the profile of the rifle nice and sleek.
And it does take away that chance of drilling it off centre, which always
that we see a lot.
We do, and it absolutely spoils a rifle, unfortunately. Yeah. So bolt action here.
Yep. A lot of other Krals are side levers, but this bolt action is very, very solid, very strong, feels very, very positive. That's the word I'm looking for. Again, not to compare it to a Fox all the time, but it feels more metal, feels more positive than a Fox. I will say that much. And that does lead into the safety catch, which is underneath here. Bright red little bead that's down here. So it's in the same place as the Gamos actually as well. Forward for off, back for on. So that won't fire now. Forward, bang. Very, very obvious what that is.
It is. Big little red lever.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of safety catches in the trigger guard like that. I know more and more manufacturers are putting them there, aren't they? But I'm just not a fan, personally.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Standard fill probe, standard Kral fill probe. They're about an 8 mil, 8 or 9 mil, something like that. Probably a little bit bigger. Just to push in. Comes with it, obviously, and your moderator. Standard 1/2 inch 20 UNF thread on that. And that brings us to the scope.
Yeah. Obviously this is with the package. It's a 3 to 9x40. Obviously comes with mounts and everything. You haven't got adjustable focus. You have got adjustable ocular adjustment, which will adjust the reticle for your eyes. I wouldn't probably say that that's enough, though. If I was wanting to shoot constantly at the range, if I was wanting to shoot regularly at the range, I would probably want to be upgrading the scope. It's absolutely brilliant for hunting, brilliant to get into it, but it's not the best without adjustable focus.
I think one of the biggest things is you can't see where your pellets have gone, can you? I know when you were zeroing it earlier, I had a play with it as well. My old eyes, I need something a little bit better, personally. Certainly get you going, but scope upgrade would be on the cards, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
But honest opinions, and that's what matters here. I know we've talked about most things in the features, but handling, Lawrence.
Yeah.
How long is she?
So with the silencer on, because obviously we'll say it as the package because that's what it is. With the silencer on, it's 112 centimeters, about 44 inches. Weighs about 3.5 kilos. So it's fairly mid-weight and fairly mid-length as well.
Probably a similar weight to a synthetic stock, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think there's much difference between the synthetic and the
No.
walnut. Obviously, we've only got the walnut on test today.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of subjective handling, though, as we say, we've both zeroed it. We've both sort of had a play before. How did you feel to the balance?
I felt it balanced really well. I'm a big, for anybody who watches most of our videos, thumbhole stock, always a winner with me.
Yeah.
It's one of those that it just suits me, just suits my grip, makes it a lot easier to handle, a lot more pointable.
I think, yeah, it feels very, very nice. It's really comfortable stock. It's balanced very, very well. You have got a long cylinder, but it doesn't feel front heavy, I would say.
No.
Maybe that's the scope on it, but it doesn't feel front heavy at all. Like you say, very comfortable grip. It's about right for my hands getting to the trigger. Stock, obviously, stock is about the right length.
Now, just something I'd probably like to point out, how quite well finished the stock is. I know with some of these Turkish makes, Kral have been a bit questionable in the past. The finish on the stocks.
It has been a bit lacking around the edges.
Yeah, a bit unfinished.
This one seems to be bang on.
It does.
The butt pad is finished smooth. Even around the edges, around the cylinder here, it's all smooth, well cut out. Yeah.
They may have invested in some new blades for the cutting machine.
Yeah. Not the rusty 100-year-old ones that they were using.
Yeah, but I mean that's all nicely rounded. It's all smooth. It is. I mean, you look back on the Krals that, even a couple of years ago, they were.
We had some Knights specifically, I think, that
they were
poorly,
questionable, weren't
yeah.
they? Definitely, and the quality of the stock, disappointingly so.
Yeah. But these new ones seem to be absolutely bang on.
Yeah, we were nearly at the point of throwing a few sheets of sandpaper with the stock.
With every purchase.
Yeah, but it's always refreshing when we're able to sell a product that is nice, and that you've got confidence in, for sure. Now, I mentioned this power adjuster, and you said off camera, you threw it in, it adjusted the transfer port, and that was it. You left it there. So basically, the transfer port is how the air gets from the cylinder where it's fired via the firing valve, how it gets up to behind the pallet, and that's called the transfer port. Normally a vertical little port. Quite a few guns like Air Arms use a reduction little Allen screw in the transfer port to adjust the power on the 410s and the 510s. Brocock use a little power adjuster on the side, don't they? Which does the same on the snipers.
Snipers, Rangers, Commanders.
Yeah, yeah. And basically, it just puts a restriction in that transfer air tube, so it sort of cuts your airflow down. So, does that suit you?
Hopefully, that informs all the ladies and gentlemen.
And I hope my explanation is a little bit, it is quite easy to understand. Basically, it puts an obstruction in the airflow to turn the power down.
Cool. Is there any other features or anything else you want to add to it? We've gone through the rail, the magazines, bolt action, the stock, silencer.
It does make a bit of a funny noise.
What does that mean?
When you fire it,
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's having a little bit of a fart.
Little wet one.
A little wet one, yeah, it does. It's a strange little noise. Just cock it and just fire it, just so we can just see exactly what we're talking about without the pellet in it.
Don't know whether the microphone will pick it up. Let me put it close to my mic.
It's coming from here, I think, the farting noise. But there is a bit of a ping from the hammer. So, just one of those little foibles of that model.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing to worry about. No problem.
Let's get into shooting it.
Let's have a go. Well, it's you shooting it today, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, should be interesting. So without further ado, let's get the man behind the gun and see what he can do. Now, I've had a fair few shots with this today as well while we've been playing with it, setting it up. Quite surprising. Very nicely surprising, to be honest. I'm just trying to remember all the little jokes that Lawrence comes out with when I'm shooting. So when they come to me, I'll bring them up at a suitable point.
They won't be funny when you tell them.
Is that right? Now, one of the things with these, I know we've mentioned it earlier on in the video. One of the things with these, good shot, son. What was that mine from earlier?
That's a new one.
Is the scopes. Lawrence is mid-20s. I'm
not.
I'm mid-50s. My eyesight's a little bit worse for wear. For me, I struggle with a basic scope that comes with these packages. At my age, I struggle a bit with them. You haven't got the clarity that you have with if you were to upgrade the scope. Most people would be quite happy with it. It would definitely be a benefit for me personally. And then I'd be able to see where the pellets are going. At the minute, I can see them because we've got a nice little monitor sat here. And I can see exactly where they're going. But when I was shooting it, well, even with my glasses on through the scope, I was struggling to see. That's not bad at all performance, that is, for you, is it?
For me, yeah. Nice little dig in there.
So again, we say that this in the package format that we're looking at today, this is a direct contender for
Gamo
Fox package.
Basically.
Anything else that we do?
Obviously, we make up the GX40 packages.
We do, where you can choose your own scope.
Yeah, but from the manufacturer, this is like a direct comparison.
Direct comparison, yeah. So in conclusion, Lawrence, tell me your opinion of the rifle.
It feels very positive. You get everything that you would possibly need with the package. Nice big shot count, nice big magazines. The scope will be absolutely fine.
As a starter.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's a great little budget package. Great little fine for a budget scope. I would definitely upgrade the scope if you were using it regularly at the range. The rifle would be more than adequate down the range, but I'd say the scope probably be a bit lacking. Would I have it instead of a Fox? Possibly would.
Would you?
Possibly would. It was very, very accurate. In testing, I managed to get a few slightly better groups than the ones that I got on the camera. I guess it's the stress and the pressure of doing it on camera.
Is that what you call it?
That's what I'm going with, yeah. The trigger is about the same as the Gamo Fox, I would say.
Yeah.
But I would say that the action feels a bit more positive, a bit more substantial.
I think we can't take anything away from the Gamo Fox. They're proved to be reliable, consistent, fantastic guns over the years. It's just something a bit different.
Yeah.
A bit of a different offering, isn't it? And walnut stock, nice thumb hole finish on that. And yeah.
100%. Cool.
Yeah. So come in the shop, come up the range, have a feel, see what you think. Compare the two together. If you're looking for a starter rifle package, then yeah.
Here we go.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching.
See you in the next video.